Production.
What is poppin'? Let's look at Rivian here. Super excited about this stock. It looks to me like a really bullish setup. So let's get into it again. This is going to be a technical breakdown. What we like about this stock, what I like about it, you have this massive downtrend, right? This downtrend occurs. And then you have this sideways long period of sideways consolidation. But during the sideways consolidation, you have this you could tell that demand is picking up because you could see the higher lows that are being developed, right? These are just some things that I'm really attracted to when I'm looking at a stock from a technical perspective. That's what point I think stands out to me the most and is the most attractive when I'm looking at a stock, is finding opportunities like this, right? You have this downtrend that happens from, call it, late 2021 up until 2023. So that's like 2 years of a downtrend. And then we go sideways in this accumulation style trend, this accumulation phase. And this happens for a long period of time too. It's June 2023 up until today, which is February 2026, right? So that's like 958 days. That's a long period of time. Okay, we're closing in on almost 3 years of trading at these levels. Okay, so this is suppressed. This is like a distressed asset, I'd call it. Where I start to pique a lot of interest is, again, like I mentioned, during this accumulation phase, we're starting to see the higher lows being created. This is telling me that even though the stock's price is down bad, there's been some accumulation happening. Demand is picking up at these prices, and that there's some sort of buying happening at these levels. Once you match this with the volume, right? Look at the bullish volume accumulation that's been happening at these prices. Lots of bullish volume coming in at the lows. Again, keep in mind, to give you some context, the very high was $175 per share for Rivian. So when Rivian's trading at like $15 a share, that's 90% drawdown from its highs. You have to keep that in mind. So these are pretty cheap compared to the highest the stock was once valued. This is where you see people finding a discount or finding deep value, right? People are positioning themselves. So once we start to find these two major patterns, one, a distressed asset that is starting to accumulate and showed signs of demand increasing, and then bullish accumulation volume happening throughout that accumulation, it should really pique your interest. So let's look forward. What could we be preparing for? How can we position ourselves here? I see a lot of support going on here, right? Every time the bears try to push it down, you have these multiple times where the bulls step in and they show that they're willing to show defense here, right? Play defense. They're oops, that's way too big. But as you can see, they come back and they defend this area multiple times. It's almost like a theme here. That's showing you, again, demand is increasing. The bulls are showing you that they're not to be played with here. They find value at these prices, and then you match it with the volume coming in. Love the looks of that. You have, again, it's like an ascending triangle because we have this main resistance level here that goes back like this, right? So closer to the end of 2025 was our first time breaking up above this resistance zone in quite some time, right? We went below it in January 2024. The end of 2025 was our first time above it in over 2 years, if you think about it. So this is a major sign. It's all telling you a story, right? So the demand is picking up. We make this first major breakout, and then the first half of 2026 is the first quarter of 26 so far has been a consolidation back into this zone. And look what we have here. The bulls draw a line in the sand and they show strong demand in this area. Another major bullish sign. So we have this again, major zone, major buy, massive bullish volume stepping in after a bullish earnings. Everything here is telling me that this stock is poised to go higher. So what can we look at? How can we tell the targets of where we can go? There's many different ways to do it. First things first that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Fibonacci retracement tool. I'm going to go to the very high that the stock had. I'm going to put the first first target there, and then I'm going to put the second target at the lowest price the stock was. This is going to give me like a Fibonacci retracement tool of where the stock could potentially go. First target here is $48. So you have this massive opportunity. You're seeing the demand come in. You're seeing the bullish volume accumulate throughout this, pattern. You're seeing the higher lows being created into resistance. This feels like it's about to squeeze hard. Who knows where things can really get, but I'm aiming for this as my first target, and I imagine this to happen potentially sometime before 2027. It's potential. So I want to see, something like this happen. We get the breakout, we retest the highs, retest the major support, and then we get our strong move towards that first target in the Fibonacci retracement sometime in 2026. That's the Rivian breakdown. I'm super excited about this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. If you enjoyed, like, share, subscribe. Easy, guys.